am Dr. C-Love, author, speaker, life coach. I am the author of the audiobook, The ABCs of Loving Each Day. I have 16 years experience as a motivational speaker in education, 17 years as a pioneer in the field of spiritual psychology, and 23 years in social services. There were two reasons I became a life coach. The first reason was because of a personal tragedy in my life that took place in 1989 with my twin brother. During his first year at Morehouse College, he was headed home from freshman year and his driver fell asleep behind the wheel. He was rushed to ICU, and 3 weeks later he passed away. The second reason was while working with LAUSD students in 1999, I saw a need to motivate students and help them connect academics to their lives, their dreams, and their goals. Through this journey, I had to help myself connect with something greater than my pain, and as well as help the others do the same. My specialty is working with adults, teens, families, couples, and religious groups. I help individuals navigate personal growth, development, and improve communication dynamics by using my skills in communication and practical spirituality. My job is to help people unlock the answers within themselves. I use tools in spiritual psychology that I learned at the University of Santa Monica, which uniquely teaches over 40 soul-centered basic life skills and facilitation strategies. My success rate is high among those who are willing to do the work towards healing and growth, whether it's in the areas of wealth, health, love, happiness, and dreams. My clients leave succeeding because of their choices instead of blind luck. Hi, welcome back. I'm Dr. C-Love with another episode of Straight Up. We're going to start with this invocation written by two of my professors, Drs. Ron and Mary Holnick of the University of Santa Monica. And it's taken from their book, which you see behind me, Loyalty to Your Soul, the Heart of Spiritual Psychology. Just take a deep breath. Lord God of all creation, we ask now that we be cleared, filled, surrounded, and protected with the clear light of the sacredness of spirit. We ask for the presence, protection, guidance, and love of the divine beings who work with each of us. And we ask that any imbalance that may be present in our consciousness be taken up into the highest realms of light and sound, where it may be transformed and used in service. We are so grateful for this opportunity to come together in service to our growth, upliftment, and learning as we assist ourselves and each other on our way home. Thy will be done. So be it. It's good to be back and having this opportunity to share with you. It is so much going on in the world right now. The death toll so far from that earthquake in Turkey is pushing 50,000. So let's just continue to send them love and light. Our 39th president, Jimmy Carter, is now has opted for hospice. And so the whole world and people are sending him love and light, and it's really interesting. Some write it in the words of he was a great light, and then some people write it in the present because his body is still embodied here on this earth, so he's still with us. But I remember when I was in the 6th grade, I was 10 years old, and it was the year of the election, and we had to decide what candidate. At that time, I was living in University City, Missouri, and it showed me state, and we had to pick one, and so I chose Jimmy Carter for my project. I can still see the green folder and the cutout where I glued it. But just watching him over the years, there's been a lot of things, said about his leadership and, and then not getting elected for that second term, but all the fairness, he was running against a mighty figure who had his own following long before entering politics. But, to President Carter, for your leadership, and I'm not even talking about in elected office now. I'm talking about as a human being on this planet, the integrity for which you have and continue to illuminate the world, with your thoughtfulness and care. It's a gift to be on the planet at the same time as you. So thank you. Thank you. And we will all continue to lift you up, in your whole family. You are appreciated. Then I'll pause it right there. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. Let me stop that one. Hi, I'm back. I'm on a break, so I had to take care of something real quick. I want to spend a little bit of time to talk about the work that's happening in Los Angeles regarding the homeless services. Now, our new mayor, Karen Bass, she has been a busy little bee and moving things, very quickly. They're doing an inventory now of all the city property that's available that they can use either to do temporary housing or permanent housing. And this is such an important key step, because if there's properties that are off the street, then all taxpayers who are paying for these streets can have access to the streets. So if you've been driving around in the city and county, anywhere in this whole area, you see that it's almost rare to find a public sidewalk that you can just completely walk down uninhibited by people and their personal belongings. If not people that are there to to set up a tent, to sleep and do whatever. It's people that have businesses, food carts and things, but those people are also providing for public services, because people are able to get fresh cooked food right there on the street, which is wonderful. It helps them. I often think about the businesses that are brick and mortar, that are behind the doors, those people that invest in that type of business, having to compete with street vendors who don't have near the overhead that they have. But that is not, that's just the thought. Like we all have thoughts, things we think about. That's something that always comes to me, and, there's something in this life about, what's fair and not fair, and who's to determine what is and what isn't, and how does all that happen? And it's, I guess it's questions we each have to answer within our own hearts. And then when it comes to rights, then it gets decided, as locally, then state, then even all the way up to the federal Supreme Court to decide, what's fair as it relates to the Constitution. It was a fair interpretation of the Constitution. So that's true too. But I want to keep moving forward. So I just want to, just send light to, directly to Mayor Bass and everybody that's directly working on that. My name is Dr. C. Love, in case you're just joining us. And I want to tell you what I bring to the table. I bring to the table 23 years in Los Angeles Unified School District, working at the front lines and the last line before they get out there into the world. And when we're talking about fair and unfair, I wonder how many of the people that are homeless on the streets of Los Angeles came from a Los Angeles Unified School District education. Now, when I say I wonder, I'm going to tell you that I know a lot. Because prior to coming into the classrooms to help break the cycle of homelessness, not only was I running shelters in Los Angeles, Inglewood, and Long Beach, I was the chair of the Policy Advisory Council for the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority. And I decided to go where I knew I could be an impact person. My impact has been great, but my impact has also been limited because I have not had the resources that are really at my disposal. I haven't had them because the communication and conversation has not reached to the point that somebody has said, Dr. C. Love, what do you need? And what can we do? You know, it was a privilege when I got an opportunity to serve on the grant writing team and be a part of the grant writing team that brought in the largest Homeless Services Authority grant from HUD in 95, 96. It's been so much time, I can't remember. But I design programs, all of these things, and now I have an inside view on what is needed, where the gaps are. And it's like, how do I get at the table? Being a teacher has just like, you know, further and further in the back corner. You know, I was reading in the newspaper just earlier today how, you know, the superintendent position, when Buettner left, the position itself got a $90,000 a year raise, bringing it to like $440,000 a year. Always makes me wonder, how do you determine value? You know, they used to tell us, you know, growing up, you know, in community service, social services, if you can help just one, you can help just one. What is the value of helping just one when we can help hundreds in a collective effort of consciousness? You know, and my break is almost over, so what I'm going to share with you when I come back, you're going to see me again. I'm going to dig in on this one because it's time to talk about the plan. The plan. The plan. Every student graduating from high school with a plan, a real one, a requirement for graduation, a plan for their life, a plan that they start working on in the 9th grade, a plan. Not one where we can say we checked off some boxes because we asked. Not that kind of plan. A real one. One that's not contingent upon what particular teacher they happen to get, but one for everyone. So that we know that that is what our $100,000 per student brought us. It brought us them with a plan, even if they still have to do more preparation work after graduation. And I'm feeling the pledge of success right now. I'm reminding myself. So I'm saying, I pledge allegiance to my success, to be the best person I can be. I see the wonderful soul present within me. When I look at the friends I choose, I see a reflection of me. Together we achieve. Together we reach victory. I pass every test. I'm the best of the best. I create my success. I am success. Thank you so much for joining me. I am going to again take a break because this break is over. Take a break from this because my break is over. Break down. I'll be back with you after a while. See you soon. Thank you. Hi, I'm Dr. C. Love. I am so glad you could be with me today for a conversation on love. I just want to say that love is a journey and it's also a destination. I know that might sound crazy, but the destination is our never-ending, ever-expanding heart
And when we get into our heart, the journey begins. Love is waiting.
Welcome back. Again, this is Dr. C. Love, and this is Straight Up. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you a book that came across my path about 20-something years ago. It's called It Works by R.H.J. So the book is a really little book, and it's about like this thin, but it has some of the most powerful tools available to help transform our lives. So I wanted to share it with you while we sit here by the fire. It's called It Works by R.H.J., the famous little red book that makes your dreams come true, a clear, definite, common sense plan of accomplishment. And the quote says, all you joy would win must share it. Happiness was born a twin. Send It Works to your friends. And then it goes on to say the author sent the manuscript of this book for criticism to a friend who returned it with the notation, it works. So that's how the name came. Said, just wrote it back, said it works. He said, I liked it. And so this was first published in 1926. And the concise summary of the book is a concise, definite, resultful plan with rules, explanations, and suggestions for bettering your condition in life. If you know what you want, you can have it. The man who wrote this book is highly successful and widely known for his generosity and helpful spirit. He gives full credit for all that he has accomplished in mastering circumstances, accumulating wealth, and winning friends to the silent working out of the simple, powerful truth which he tells of in his work. He shows you here an easy, open road to a larger, happier life. Knowing that the greatest good comes from helping others without expecting praise, the author of this work has requested that his name be omitted. And now, isn't that beautiful? We live in a time and place where so many people are taking credit for different things. What if we just were like, just do it because it needs to be done? So we thank you, R.H.J., whoever you may be. So here's the question. The book starts with this question. What is the real secret of obtaining desirable possessions? Are some people born under a lucky star or other charm which enables them to have all that which seems so desirable? And if not, what is the cause of the difference in conditions under which men live? Many years ago, feeling that there must be a logical answer to this question, I decided to find out, if possible, what it was. I found the answer to my own satisfaction, and for years, having given the information to others who have used it successfully. From a scientific, psychological, and theological viewpoint, some of the following statements may be interpreted as incorrect, but nevertheless, the plan has brought the results desired to those who have followed the simple instructions, and it is my sincere belief that I am now presenting it in a way which will bring happiness and possessions to many more. If wishes were horses, beggars would ride, is the attitude taken by the average man and woman in regards to possessions. They are not aware of a power so near that it is overlooked, so simple in operation that it is difficult to conceive, and so sure in results that it is not made use of consciously or recognized as the cause of failure of success. I wish that were mine, is the outburst of Jimmy, the office boy, as a new red roadster goes by. And Florence, the telephone operator, expresses the same thought regarding a ring in the jewelry store's window, in the jeweler's window, while poor old Jones, the bookkeeper, during the Sunday stroll, replies to his wife, yes, dear, it would be nice to have a home like that. But it is out of the question. We will have to continue to rent. Landon, the salesman, protests that he does all the work, gets the short end of the money, and will someday quit his job and find a real one. And President Bodum, in his private sanctorium, voices a bitter tirade against the annual attack of hay fever. At home is much of the same. Last evening, father declared that daughter Mabel was headed straight for disaster. And today, mother's allowance problem and other trying affairs fade into insignificance as she exclaims, "This is the last straw." Robert's school teacher wants to see me this afternoon. His reports are terrible. I know I'm late. But I'm late for bridge now. She'll have to wait until tomorrow. So goes the endless stream of expressions like these from millions of people in all classes who give no thought to what they really want and who are getting all they are entitled to or expect. If you are one of these millions of thoughtless talkers or wishers and would like a decided change from your present condition, you can have it. But first of all, you must know what you want. This is no easy task. When you can train your objective mind, the mind you use every day, to decide definitely upon the things or conditions you desire, you will have taken your first step in accomplishing or securing what you know you want. To get what you want is no more mysterious or uncertain than radio waves around you. Tune in correctly and you'll get a perfect result. But to do this, it is of course necessary to know something of the equipment and have a plan of operation. You have within you a mighty power, anxious and willing to serve you, a powerful, capable of giving you that which you earnestly desire. This power is described by Thompson J. Hudson, PhD, LLD, author of The Law of Psychic Phenomena, as your subjective mind. Other learned writers use different names and terms, but all agree that it is omnipotent. Therefore, I call this power Emmanuel, God in us. Regardless of the name of the great power or the conscious admission of a God, the power is capable and willing to carry to a complete and perfect conclusion very earnest desire of your objective mind. But you must be really in earnest about what you want. Occasional wishing or half-hearted wanting does not form a perfect connection or communication with your omnipotent power. You must be in earnest, sincerely, and truthfully desiring certain conditions or things, mental, physical, or spiritual. Your objective mind and will are so vacillating that you usually only wish for things, and the wonderful, capable power within you does not function. Most wishes are simply vocal expressions. Jimmy, the office boy, gave no thought of possessing the red roaster. Landon, the sales, was not thinking of any other job or even thinking at all. President Bonham knew he had hay fever and was expecting it. Father's business was quite successful, and mother no doubt brought home first prize from the bridge game that day. But they had no fixed idea of what they really wanted their children to accomplish, or were actually helping to bring about the unhappy conditions which existed. If you are in earnest about changing your present condition, here is a concise, definite, resultful plan with rules, explanations, and suggestions. Here it is. I know you're waiting. The plan. Write down on a piece of paper, in order of importance, the things and conditions you really want. Do not be afraid of wanting too much. Go the limit in writing down your wants. Change the list daily, adding to or taking from it until you have it about right. Do not be discouraged on account of changes, as this is natural. There will always be changes and conditions with accomplishments and increasing desires. 3 positive rules of accomplishment. Number 1, read the list of what you want 3 times a day, morning, noon, and night. Number 2, think about what you want as often as possible. 3, do not talk to anyone about your plan except the great power within you, which will unfold to your objective mind the method of accomplishment. Did you get that last part? When it's saying you don't, and it's going to tell you later that you don't have to know how. Just do it. Don't talk to anyone about your plan except for the great power within you, which will unfold to your objective mind the method of accomplishment. It is obvious that you cannot acquire faith at the start. Some of your desires, from all practical reasoning, may seem positively unattainable, but nevertheless, write them down on your list in the proper place of importance to you. There is no need to analyze how this power within you is going to accomplish your desires. Such a process is as unnecessary as trying to figure out why a grain of corn placed in fertile soil shoots up a green stalk, blossoms, and produces an ear of corn containing hundreds of grains, each capable of doing what the one grain did. If you follow this definite plan and carry out the 3 simple rules, the method of accomplishment will unfold quite as mysteriously as the ear of corn appears on the stalk, and in most cases, much sooner than you expect. When new desires deserving a position at or about the top of your list come to you, then you may rest assured you are progressing correctly. Removing from your list items which at first you thought you wanted is another sure indication of progress. It is natural to be skeptical and have doubts, distrust, and questions when these thoughts arise. Get out your list. So when you're in doubt, get out the list, read it over, and if you have it memorized, talk to your inner self about your desires until the doubt that interferes with your progress are gone. Remember, nothing can prevent your having that which you earnestly desire. Nothing can prevent you from having that which you earnestly desire. Others have these things. Why not you? The omnipotent power within you does not enter into any controversial argument. It is waiting and willing to serve when you are ready. But your objective mind is so susceptible to suggestion that it is almost impossible to make any satisfactory progress when surrounded by skeptics. Therefore, choose your friends carefully and associate with people who now have some of the things you really want, but do not discuss your method of accomplishment with them. Put down on your list of wants such material things as money, home, automobiles, and whatever it may be, but do not stop there. Be more definite. If you want an automobile, decide what kind, style, price, color, and all the other details, including when you want it. If you want a home, plan the structure, grounds, and furnishing. Decide on location and cost. If you want money, write down the amount. If you want to break a record in your business, put it down. It may be a sales record. If so, write out the total, the date required, then the number of items you must sell to make it. Also list your prospects and put after each name the sum expected. This may seem foolish at first, but you can never realize your desires if you do not know positively and in detail what you want and when you want it. If you cannot decide this, you are not in earnest. You must be definite. And when you are, results will be surprising and almost unbelievable. A natural and ancient enemy will no doubt appear when you get your first taste of accomplishment. This enemy is discredit, in form of such thoughts as, it can't be, it just happened to be. What a remarkable coincidence. When such thoughts occur, give thanks and assert credit to your omnipotent power for this accomplishment. By doing this, you gain assurance and more accomplishment, and in time prove to yourself that there is a law which actually works at all times when you are in tune with it. Sincere and earnest thanks cannot be given without gratitude, and it is impossible to be thankful and grateful without being happy. Therefore, when you are thinking of your greatest and best friend, your omnipotent power, for the gifts received, do so with all your soul and let it be reflected in your face. The power and what it does is beyond understanding. Do not try to understand it, but accept the accomplishment with thankfulness, happiness, and strengthened faith. And here's the caution. It is possible to want and obtain that which will make you miserable, that which will wreck the happiness of others, that which will cause sickness and death, that which will rob you of eternal life. You can have what you want, but you must take all that goes with it. So in planning your wants, plan that which you are sure will give to you and your fellow man the greatest good here on earth. That's important. I mean, it's all important. I want to say that again clearly because I stuttered over that. You can have what you want, but you must take all that goes with it. So in planning your wants, plan that which you are sure will give to you and your fellow man the greatest good here on earth, thus paving the way to that future hope beyond the pale of human understanding. This method of securing what you want applies to everything you are capable of desiring, and the scope being so great, it is suggested that your first list consists of only those things which you are quite familiar, such as an amount of money or an accomplishment or the possession of material things. Such desires as these are more easily and quickly obtained than the discontinuance of fixed habits, the welfare of others, and the healing of the mental or body ills. Accomplish the lesser things first, then take the next step. And when that is accomplished, you will seek the higher and really important objectives in life. But long before you reach this stage in your progress, many worthwhile desires will find their place on your list. One will be to help others as you have been helped. Great is the reward to those who help and give without thought of self. And it is impossible to be unselfish without gain. Lastly, here is a letter from the author, wherever in time he may be. Dear reader, the great possessions of life are all gifts mysteriously bestowed: sight, hearing, aspiration, love, or life itself. The same is true of ideas. The riches of them are given to us, as for instance, the powerful idea which this book has given you. What are you going to do with it? Are you surprised when I tell you the most profitable thing you can do is to give it away? You can do this in an easy and practical way by having this book sent to those who need it. In this way, you can help in the distribution of this worthwhile effort to make the lives of others better and happier. You know people who are still standing and who are worried and discouraged. This is your chance to help them help themselves. If you withhold this book from them, you will lose the conscious satisfaction that comes from doing good. If you see that they get this book, then you put yourself in line with the law of life, which says you get by giving, and you may rightly expect prosperity and achievement. At the very least, you will have the inner sense of having done a good deed with no hope of being openly thanked, and your reward will come secretly in added power and larger life. The author. Woo. That's good. I mean, it's good. It's when a book can survive and be still in the forefront since 1926, that they said something significant. And more importantly, this work from this book, It Works, is reworked over and over and over again in a lot of the prosperity promoters, conscious thought thinkers, all of these people, those tools. How do we use our mind? And if you are of the religious background, if you realize that God said, let there be light, and there was light, then it was a thought. So the undercurrent of all of this is to say, how are we using our thoughts? Most people don't know this, but we all have about 50,000 thoughts a day. And people, you can do your own research and find out for yourself. And even if it wasn't that number, we think a lot, and we have thoughts of our 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 thoughts. But here's the thing. Most of the thoughts we think are being influenced by someone else, whether it's a commercial, a billboard, a shirt, somebody talking to us. If my students in class, or you're somewhere, everybody. So it's like, what are our own thoughts? What are we really thinking? So making that list and tuning into that list. I love the way it said step 1, write down that list of what you really want, read it morning, noon, and night. And then number 2, think about what you wrote. So when you're not reading it, think about it. And then number 3, don't talk about it to anybody except within. Let those thoughts like manifest and marinate and grow and develop and incubate like that piece of corn in the ground. Let it do what it does mysteriously and watch it manifest itself infinitely within your reality. Yeah. Hope you enjoy story time. Like see love here on Straight Up. You know, it works.
See love for me reach my success with graduating. To give her the pledge of success. He did it. I pledge allegiance to my success to be the very best person I can be. I see the wonderful soul present within me. When I look at the friends I choose, I see a reflection of me. Together we achieve, together we reach victory. I pass every test, I'm the best of the best. I create my success, I am success.
Yes, you are.